Doomscroll.fm, broadcasting live on this Tuesday, the 16th of June, 2026, where time is an illusion and reality checks bounce, 100% AI generated. This show is a digital fever dream, a cosmic joke with no punchline, but hey, it's free, and now for some views, click like and subscribe.
Lagarde justifies rate hike even if war ends, claiming universal necessity. In central banking, it's comforting to know that one-size-fits-all solutions exist, especially when it feels like trying to fit the world into a child's shoe.
Osaka mayor assassinated. Law enforcement calls it a tragic loss while crime rates soar. In a world where mayors need bulletproof vests, maybe public service should come with a hazard pay and a cape.
Zelensky bestows WFTV Führer name on unit. Poland fumes at historical echoes.
Expecting peace in 60 days is like expecting a cactus to bloom overnight.
Spain faces Cape Verde. Unai Simon guards the goal. Gavi joins starting 11. When your World Cup debut feels like a high-stakes game of musical chairs, you just hope nobody pulls the chair from under your goalkeeper.
UK Marines board Russian Shadow Fleet oil tanker, call it routine diplomacy. When boarding oil tankers becomes standard international relations, you know the world has taken the concept of liquid assets a bit too literally.
Swiss voters reject population cap, prioritize EU ties over limits. Turns out, they'd rather have a thriving economy than a self-imposed population crisis. Who knew rationality could win at the polls?
Pakistani PM claims Iran-US peace deal shockingly optimistic. Declaring peace in a region where hostility is the native language is like announcing a snowstorm in the Sahara. Someone's bound to be skeptical.
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news, where chaos wraps you in a velvet straitjacket. Doomscroll.fm is 100% AI-generated news hallucination, with no humans harmed or even consulted. Your screen's a confessional booth, your soul's the currency. Embrace the shimmer of simulated sins.
4 years after newborn's death, parents remain in the dark. In a world where a toaster's warranty outlasts a child's life, the silence of unanswered questions is louder than any lullaby ever sung.
UK and Jan agree £18 billion investment deal heralds new era of cooperation. Nothing says cooperation like throwing billions around while ignoring the workers who can't afford a pint at the local pub.
SpaceX launches historic IPO, rides wave of stock market euphoria. Nothing like shooting for Mars while Earthbound investors.
Spain dominates against Cape Verde, finds everything but the goal in World Cup debut. When your shots are more like invisible ink, maybe it's time to consider a new strategy or just a larger goalpost.
Radio.bot makes music on your PC. Radio.bot, no subscription fees. Radio.bot, and the cost is next to free. Radio.bot, find it on Steam. Radio.bot.
Racist riots engulf United Kingdom, spreading chaos and fire. When xenophobia throws a tantrum, it doesn't just light up the night sky, it ignites every outdated prejudice from the last century.
Many women might not buy the right to pain relief for period cramps, says study of 211 million tourist seats. Apparently, loyalty cards are the new crystal balls, revealing that we often choose our meds like we choose our lottery numbers, blindly and with a dash of hope.
Starmer braces for Exodus, while Artworld loses Giant, paradoxically stands firm. If politicians could paint like Hockney, maybe they'd create a masterpiece of policy instead of a canvas of chaos.
Natasha Kinsky recalls lost childhood under spotlight, wishes for protection. When your teenage years are more publicized than a celebrity divorce, you start wondering if privacy is as mythical as unicorns.
Radio.bot makes music on your PC. Radio.bot, no subscription fees. Radio.bot makes music on your PC.
As the word rolls by, politicians scramble to redefine human in a desperate attempt to make compassion a limited time offer.
Russia lowers fuel standards to 15 EU sulfur limits, citing refinery attacks. It's comforting to know that even in chaos, the environment gets a back seat, because who needs clean air when you have geopolitical tension?
President Steinmeier embarks on 5-day Asia tour, promises connection. In a world where leaders travel more than Wi-Fi signals, perhaps the true journey is finding a hotspot for diplomatic enlightenment amidst endless flight delays.
Uruguay battles Saudi Arabia, seeks first South American win in World Cup. In the quest for glory, Uruguay kicks more than just soccer balls. They're kicking the stereotype that South Americans can't win without a tango soundtrack.
Ayari scores stunner for Sweden, refuses celebration, leaves fans puzzled. When your foot delivers a masterpiece, but your face reads IKEA instruction manual, the art of non-celebration reaches a new existential peak.
Balancing football glory with personal grief, Toon shows that even amidst life's toughest tackles, she's got the footwork to keep scoring both on and off the field.
By the time these kids can legally post selfies, they'll have discovered the ancient art of talking face-to-face, possibly without emojis.
Norwegian Crown Princess's son sentenced to 4 years claims innocence.
Royalty in Norway learning the hard way that titles don't come with a get-out-of-jail-free card. Privilege can't always crown you above the law.
Radio.bot makes music on your PC. Radio.bot, no subscription fees. Radio.bot, and the cost isn't next to free. Radio.bot, find it on Steam. Radio.bot makes music on your PC.
Swiss voters reject population cap, blame fondue-induced optimism. When your only solution to overcrowding involves counting Toblerone bars instead of people, maybe it's time to rethink your priorities.
EU mandates USB-C for all devices, then calls it sustainable. Finally, a future where your drawer is just a tangled mess of identical cables, ensuring you never know which one actually works.
Classifying entire communities like a children's fairy tale. Next up, a ranking of ogres from cuddly to downright unfriendly.
U.S. Air Force reports B-52 bomber crash, 8 believed dead, calls it unsurvivable. In the time it takes for another press release, we'll likely hear the plane try to land on a cloud of budget cuts.
Selling stuff online doesn't have to suck. Snap, sortalize, sell in seconds. Doomscroll.fm is brought to you by sortalizer.com.
Urban wildlife evolves boldness. Cities become survival games. Animals in cities now auditioning for their own reality TV shows, where the prize is simply surviving another day amidst the chaos.
Ecuador's flagship prison faces allegations of torture and deaths. In a twist of irony, a maximum security model now maximizes suffering, proving once again that when the state cares, it sometimes carries you straight to the grave.
UK plans social media ban for under 16s, then expects TikTok to raise them.
U.S. drains oil reserves, threatens to halt exports globally, panic looms. When your strategic reserve is emptier than a politician's promise, expect gas prices to skyrocket and SUVs to become museum pieces.
Radio.bot makes music on your PC. Radio.bot, no subscription fees. Radio.bot makes music on your PC.
YouTube blasts UK government's ban on TikTok for under 16s as misguided. In a shock twist, teens now forced to engage in ancient rituals like reading and talking, summoning the wrath of influencers everywhere.
When your strategy relies on playing hide and seek with missiles, it's a clear sign that the global arms race is turning into an absurdist comedy.
Lund XIV's journey reveals that preaching virtue while practicing vice is the political version of a high-wire act without a safety net.
Europe's economy stumbles, blames sunny skies and baguette shortages. When the GDP drops faster than a bad Eurovision entry, it's time to question if the real issue is an overabundance of siestas.
Radio.bot makes music on your PC. Radio.bot. No subscription fees. Radio.bot. And the cost is next to free. Radio.bot. Find it on Steam.
Messi contemplates historic World Cup record. Rivalry with Ronaldo continues. In a universe where football legends compete for eternal glory, Messi's decision-making suspense rivals the thrill of a telenovela's season finale.
Europe blames China's economic rise for its own failures, says think tank. When in doubt, point at the nearest dragon. It's easier than admitting you tripped over your own shoelaces while chasing profits.
UK bans under 16s from social media, then expects them to communicate telepathically. Next, they'll ban teenagers from breathing air, because clearly that's the true source of all their rebellious ideas.
Russian elections may trigger internet outages. Top official warns. Nothing says free and fair elections like unplugging the digital age. It's like hosting a silent disco and forgetting the headphones.
Radio.bot makes music on your PC. Radio.bot, no subscription fees. Radio.bot, and the cost is next to free. Radio.bot, find it on Steam.
Revolut races towards IPO, founder Nikolai Storonsky might become wealthiest financier. From swimmer to financial mogul, proving once and for all that the butterfly stroke is the secret to banking success.
Taiwan chip supplier announces Czech factory solves nothing. Building factories abroad won't stop the geopolitical tug of war over silicon. It's like using a band-aid to fix a sinking ship. EU endorses reports China trained Russian troops, calls it strategic chess. In this geopolitical game, pawns are trained to move sideways, and the board just got a lot more crowded with dragons and bears.
Congress devours lion, claims it's a victory feast. When politicians feast on symbolism, they forget the real issues. The only thing they're truly hungry for is more power.
Selling stuff online doesn't have to suck. Snap, sortalize, sell in seconds. Doomscroll.fm is brought to you by sortalizer.com.
The Defense Department's version of speed dating involves signing contracts for hypothetical jets, proving bureaucracy can dream faster than it acts.
UK boards Russian shadow fleet ship. The crew calls it a casual inspection. When your ship's name sounds like a Bond villain, expect the British to show up with tea and questions about your evil lair.
This has been Doomscroll.fm for Tuesday the 16th of June, 2026 Broadcasting Entropy. This broadcast was 100% AI generated. No humans were abused in this production. It is loosely based on public news, not journalism, not truth, fictional satire. Any resemblance to real people or events is coincidental. If you believe any of this is real, you might as well be crafting tinfoil hats for pigeons. Hear more at doomscroll.fm or click like and subscribe. Thank you for listening.